It's Steve Oatley with TLG Carrier Services, TLG, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna make a video today on finding out what your break-even point is and what you should run your truck per mile. And listen, this is all opinionated, so if you disagree with it, that's fine. And I've gotten a couple of emails about because I swear during these videos. I'm sorry, I deal with truck drivers every day. I drove a truck for years, owned trucks for years. I'm a dispatcher and a broker, so I deal with truck drivers every day. So unfortunately, swearing is part of this industry for me, and I'll try to censor it down, but if it becomes too much, I suggest you to stop watching my videos and start watching Frozen or something again, because that's probably better suited for you. All right, listen. So I wrote a blog back in July, and it's on my website, which you can see up here if you wanted to. What is your true break-even point? Now, I'm going to go really quickly over all this stuff. You can read the blog, and you can use the calculator, which is what we're going to use here. On Facebook, you got Kenny and Rezo and all the other cheap guys that, they're funny as hell to me. They make me laugh. But the reason why people get mad at them is because they run for $2 a mile, and everyone says you can't make a living off $2 a mile. Well, that's bullshit, because I owned a bunch of trucks, and I ran my trucks for right around $2 a mile. Obviously, I take a higher paying load, but I'd run my trucks under $2 a mile if I had to. I didn't sit my trucks. There's people that say they don't move their truck for $5 a mile, blah, 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 blah. If that's good for you. More power to you. This video is purely going to show you what your actual cost would be. And again, this is a rough estimate and all this stuff. But this is on my website, so you can go on the website and play around. You can, if you're interested in having me consult more, teach you more about the industry, you let me know. Contact information is all down below on the YouTube video. At any rate, so we start off with the total miles that you run per month. And it seems you'll understand why we do that after, because there's back-end math involved here, which totals everything out. So let's say your total, you want to run 10,000 miles per month. 2,500 miles a week, blah, blah, blah. If your truck and trailer payments, so say you have $1,000 a month for your truck, $300 a month for your trailer. So you're paying $1,300 a month. Now you're going to see this number at the bottom is going to keep going up as you go. I'll explain what that is in a minute. Let's say your monthly insurance, and if you own your truck outright or you own your trailer outright, pretend like you have a payment on there and save that money, because you could use it like a maintenance escrow or a down payment for your next vehicle or trailer, or to buy another one, whatever. Your monthly insurance payment, I have no idea. Insurance rates are so screwy right now. You could either be paying a lot or you could be paying a little bit. It's all dependent on how much the insurance company decided to shaft you. We're working on trying to figure out TLG as an offering to deal with insurance and find a couple of good companies that we can recommend. And we're still working on that. It's a lot harder process than we thought. We may just go out and get our own broker license. At any rate, so let's just say you're on the high end. You're paying $1,500 a month for your truck and insurance, and you got your $1 million liability, $100,000 cargo. You got auto coverage. You got all that crap. Everything's all included. Driver pay. So even if you're an owner operator, you want to include your monthly driver pay. If you want to make $1,000 a week, or you're paying a driver $1,200 per week, or I've heard some drivers paying their guys $1,800 per week, $1,800 per week. It's unbelievable for a company driver, and not good ones either. They miss appointments. It's someone I dispatch for. They're not good drivers. At any rate, let's just say you're an owner operator. You want to take home $1,000 a week. You say your monthly maintenance. Now, I always say go high. You guys are all owner-operators. If you haven't currently operating, you're going to. So I always say shoot high. So I say $1,200 too, as well. And then your monthly food, hotel, showers, petty cash, all the other crap. Let's just say $1,000. You should be sleeping in your truck and all that stuff. If you can. Like my guys that drive the truck, they spend 1 to 2 days, and then I get them a hotel. Because I've been in the truck. I'm a big dude. 285 pounds. So me sitting in the back seat of a Dodge Ram 3500 is not very comfortable. I'm a big dude, so I'm as wide as probably 30 inches wide. So it's hard for me to fit in the back of a truck, and it's uncomfortable. I can't stretch out 6'1". So essentially, either you get yourself a hotel, get a tractor where you have a sleeper built in. Get yourself a sleeper attachment. Do whatever you got to do to make that. So this is, again, these are really rough numbers. You can go more in depth, and there's other stuff you have to account for as well. You know, your taxes and registration fees and all that crap, but this is just gives you a really rough estimate. And I have fuel added at 50 cents per mile. Right now, the national average for diesel is 3.16. And the reason why I put this up here is so you can see that, you know, and so you see that the national average is 3.16. You know your truck gets about 9, whatever, miles to the gallon. 50 cents per mile is a pretty accurate rate. You know, if I notice that fuel is going back up to 4 or whatever, then I may, you know, alternate this. But you can do it in your head too. So basically, that gives you $1.40 a mile break even. Now again, this stuff is all fluid, so you change the information, it all changes it. The thing about this break even is that is what it costs for you to break even. That's for you to keep your truck, your trailer, and only sometimes, you know, if you blow an engine and you don't have any money saved because you just started or you decided to use an old truck, you know, because you didn't want to spend a bunch of money on a new truck, and the thing, you know, crash, or, you know, it dies on you. Obviously, you should probably be saving more based on the equipment that you have. But $1.40 a mile is the bare minimum you should run. So every time you jump in your truck, you start that sucker up, and you pull out of your parking lot, your driveway, whatever. You should be making $1.40 a mile. So if you have a 1,000-mile run, it's 50 miles from your house, and to the pickup, your rate should be, you know, for when you quote it, it should be over $1.40 a mile for 1,050 miles. That's what it in all reality it should. Now, does that mean you should take anything over $1.40 per mile? No, not at all. You should try $2.40 a mile or $3.40 a mile, because it all depends on the lane, you know. But your truck generates a profit at anything over, based on this qualification, at anything over $1.40 a mile, you're going to end up making money. That's a really abbreviated version of it, but it gives you a good starting guideline. Now, you could take this, or you can make your own little Excel sheet and break down every single cost. Your tolls, because they're not included in this, depending on where you're running. You know, lumper fees, you know, all ELD fees every month. You could build one that's more specific, and we'll give you an actual total, and that's what you should probably do. Or you could pay us, and we'll do it for you. With TLG Carrier Services, we have a program. We can turn it around in like 2 hours after you fill out our questionnaire. But we'll give you your actual break-even rate to the penny. You know, there's other things you could do to calculate. You know, I always say, you know, my recommendation, what I do for my trucks is I change maintenance to $2,400, and I'll change the insurance payment to, let's say, $2,500. So that's already got $2,000 in miscellaneous expenses on top of everything else. And let's change estimated showers and stuff to $1,500 per week. So that gives you $1.67 per mile. It's a little bit more likely to be the rate when you have all the other little additions in there. So, like myself, it depends what truck I'm running. If I'm running a lighter trailer that we own, you know, then this number's quite a bit lower. If we're doing power only boats and stuff, it goes off of market. It doesn't go off of a break even. You know, I know that, you know, a Dodge Ram 3500 dually can make it from South Florida to Buffalo and back, towing a 2,000 pound boat for $500 in fuel. People, you guys will all get pissed at this, but if I'm driving it for the weekend and I could drive it up and down and make an extra $500 for the weekend, then I'm gonna do it. You know, and I have no problem with that as long as I'm making a profit and I'm not going in the red. And that's kind of the same rationale. Like, so that there's the Kenny guy on Facebook all the time who's like, oh, you know, with all the God stuff aside, I don't care. But he's always like $2 a mile, all miles, and he get like people jump on him. And now people jump on him because of the numbers. He doesn't have numbers in his truck. I get that. You know, it is people like him that raises the insurance rate for everybody else like us that do have the proper authority and insurance and all that stuff. But my guess is that when he's taking the pictures, he's grabbing his numbers off of the truck, because I don't see how anyone could get away with hauling that way. You know, and that's just my personal opinion. I think he's trolling the sites, and if he actually is moving for $2 a mile, good for him. You know, does his rates of $2 a mile screw it up for everybody currently? No. You know what screwed it up is everybody currently going out and buying a hot shot. If you ask the guys that have been hot shotting for a long time, 5 years ago, they used to make decent money. They used to make full truckload money with their hot shots. Now you're not making full truckload money anymore. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I recommend people do not get into the hot shot business. Go buy a semi at this point. Yeah, it's convenient to have a hot shot, and you know, you can take the numbers off and run it on the weekends, and you know, you think the expenses are a little bit lower. I mean, in my experiences, hot shotting is you're going to make less money than you would with a like vehicle. You can't haul as much. Your fuel expense isn't dramatically different. Your maintenance expenses aren't dramatically different if you get yourself a good truck and you actually know what you're doing, and you book strategically. And everyone out there that uses all these load boards that I have open every single day, Truck Stop, DAT, all those boards, everybody here knows exactly that that there's more freight for a full semi that can haul 40,000 pounds than a little hot shot that can haul 16. You know. And that's just the course of action. So I try to recommend people steer away from the hot shots if they don't already have a truck. If you already have a truck, then run it. You know, excuse me. That's my personal opinion. But you know, I have no problem going over this with anybody if anybody wants to learn a little bit more about it and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of caught people off guard. I think I'm a consultant, so this is how I make my living. I dispatch and I do a lot of consulting stuff. So I don't mind giving some pointers on the phone and when you guys call. Just keep in mind that eventually I'm going to just be like, okay, well, that's enough free advice and you know, compensate me for my time. Now, if you were a big fleet owner and you wanted consulting, then I would bill you with my normal $150 an hour rate. But if you're a little independent guy and you want to do something, you know, you want to learn more about the business, you know, you tell me what you'll pay me and I'll help you. Or, you know, comment on these, you know, because it's the best thing is when you post a video or you post a comment and you get 40 plus people that reply, 30 of them will actually have something good to say, and the other 10 are just negative Nancy's that are on here and should be watching Frozen instead of watching my videos. All right. Hey, guys, subscribe below. I try to post a video every day. I know today I'm making 3 videos, so subscribe below, and see you next time.